What's
Hi,
happening?
I'm Brian De Palma.
It's excellent to meet you. I am Connie Chung. I think we should have a very professional interview this evening.
All right. Are you ready? Whenever you're ready here.
All right. What's up, guys? I'm Henry. We're at Fantastic Fest, and I'm sitting here with one of mine, and I think many people's heroes, Mr. George Romero.
Thank you.
I think our budget for the setup for just this interview might be 15 to 20 times the initial budget of Night of the Living Dead, because we've got all of these HD cameras and special effects and really cushy chairs that they weren't able to get. Is that right? Did you
That's
guys
where
have
the
a
money
shortage?
goes. The money goes into the cushy chairs.
That's true. All right, so we're here tonight because you've got the U.S. opening of Diary of the Dead going on in another theater right this very second.
Nerve-wracking.
It's an honor to be talking to you, and at the same time, I'm really hating that I'm not sitting in there watching it right now. So we're going to try to get through this really quick, so I can only miss the first couple of minutes. Do you want to give us a little bit of the setup of Diary and why it's not in the original trilogy or quadrilogy?
Yeah, what do you call it when there are that many? I just was all of my zombie films have sort of grown out of what's happening in the world, you know, and I get the ideas from Jesus. You know, look at this. All of a sudden we have the Bush administration, and maybe I should, you know, talk about that. And it's not, I'm not trying to preach or whatever, but the zombie films that I've done are sort of snapshots of what's happening in the world. And you can lay zombies onto almost anything. The zombies aren't even the villains in my mind. The stories revolve around the humans that are faced with this dilemma. And the zombies are sort of like, in my mind, the hurricane, you know, oh, there's a hurricane, you know, and how do people behave in the face of that? And that's what the films have been about in my mind. And so I suddenly looked up, I mean, not so suddenly, it took a while, but I said, wow, man, we're all of a sudden there's this media explosion, you know, this multi-tentacled thing that everyone is seduced by and participating in, and, you know, I mean, now there are regular people. Instead of CNN asking the questions of political candidates, it's people.
I have credentials.
You have credentials. I have a credential, actually. So here we are, members of this new society. And I just said, well, I'd like to do something about that, and about how it captivates you, and about how you get immune to what's happening around you, and you become a shooter, and you become a documentarian. And that's really what the film is about. And so I had to start it in the beginning, because if it was 3 years later and the world was, you know, already in very bad shape,
right,
they wouldn't be able to do it. So my idea was to have some college film students that are shooting a school project and therefore have the hardware. When the shit hits the fan and they start documenting and they become just captured by it, you know, they become obsessed by doing that. And that's the idea.